How's it going, kiddos? Welcome to Brainstitch Chronicles. In recent weeks, I've been completely hooked on a game that simplifies the strategy genre, making it extremely accessible to both casual and seasoned players. VIII is a game that takes the best part of RTS games and combines it with a hint of roguelike permadeath. If you're looking for a fresh take on strategy games, then you're in for a treat. VIII combines tactical prowess, beautifully simple visuals, and a unique premise that will keep you engaged for many hours. It's a game that I've enjoyed immensely and have even recommended to friends and fellow gamers. But before we begin, for those of you who haven't had the chance to experience VIII, I highly recommend checking out my Should You Play video, conveniently accessible in the top right corner of this video. It will allow you to get a quick taste of what the game is about without spoiling much of the experience. It's important to note that the gameplay footage you'll see throughout this review is from the PC version of VIII. Keep in mind that your experience may vary depending on the platform you choose to play on, as the game is available on multiple platforms including PC, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch and mobile. That being said, let's jump right into this captivating journey of strategy and survival. VIII is a one-of-a-kind game that sits at the intersection of niche and casual gaming. Its minimalist approach and roguelike elements set it apart from other games in the real-time strategy genre. Developed by Plausible Concept and published by Raw Fury, VIII transports players to a fictional island kingdom under siege by Viking invaders. As players embark on this epic journey, they take on the role of a young ruler tasked with defending their kingdom and repelling the relentless Viking horde. Strategic thinking is key, and players must skillfully maneuver their commanders across the island, ensuring that their units are strategically positioned to face the approaching enemies. The game's minimalist approach adds to its charm, stripping away unnecessary complexity and focusing on the core elements of tactical decision making. As you progress to VIII, the intensity ramps up. Waves of enemies become more frequent, and players must adapt their strategies to counter the different enemy types effectively. What sets VIII apart is its incorporation of roguelike elements. Each playthrough is unique, with procedurally generated islands and a constant sense of tension and uncertainty. With permadeath looming over your commanders, every decision carries weight, making each playthrough an exhilarating and challenging experience. VIII relies on something other than an elaborate storyline to keep players engaged, as your primary objective is clear: to fend off relentless waves of incoming Vikings and protect as many homes as possible on each island. Unlike games that drown you in lengthy text scrolls or complex dialogue, VIII embraces simplicity and lets the gameplay do the talking. You're thrust into this tense and fast-paced scenario where your wits and strategic prowess are put to the ultimate test. It's a high-stakes battle for survival where every decision matters. Narrative details in the game are sparse, with the store page description providing only a glimpse of the dire situation players will encounter. Your home is under attack, the king is dead at the hands of Viking invaders. Hope is a distant glimmer in the fog, fading fast with every passing moment. As you rise to take your father's place as ruler, it will fall to you to stage your defenses. But make no mistake, this is no fight for victory, but a desperate grasp for survival. The ambiguous backstory and the player's imagination work together to fill in the gaps in the narrative, allowing for limitless possibilities and creative scenarios for the commanders and their troops. The absence of a defined story is a positive aspect of the game, as it encourages the player to use their creativity and to develop unique interpretations of the game's world and characters. With VIII, you're not just playing through a predetermined narrative, you're crafting your own legend, navigating treacherous waters and forging a path to survival. It's an immersive experience that invites you to become the hero of your own story. Despite the lack of explicit narrative elements, VIII's gameplay has an underlying sense of urgency and peril. Each procedurally generated island presents a new challenge as the player attempts to stay one step ahead of the approaching enemy forces. Its refreshingly simple and intuitive approach to gameplay sets VIII apart. The minimalist design eliminates the need for lengthy tutorials, as everything is visually clear and easy to understand. From identifying enemy types to countering them effectively, the game's mechanics are streamlined to create a smooth and engaging experience that appeals to casual players. But don't be fooled by its simplicity. Path North offers a level of challenge that also appeals to seasoned gamers. With its permadeath mechanic and roguelike elements, each decision carries weight and consequences. Every battle must be approached with caution and strategic planning, as a single mistake can result in devastating losses. At the start of each campaign, players are equipped with 2 commanders and basic militia units, regardless of the chosen difficulty level. The initial island defenses gradually introduce the core gameplay mechanics, allowing players to familiarize themselves with unlocking specializations for the basic militia and encountering different waves of enemy types. Up to 4 commanders can be deployed to each island, and each commander can equip a trait and an item to enhance the defensive capabilities. Players can recruit new commanders to aid them in the defensive conquest by successfully defending islands with a flag underneath them. Similarly, players can acquire items that commanders can equip, although each commander can only equip 1 item and this action is irreversible. For example, the Warhorn allows commanders to summon reinforcements in the heat of battle, while the mines can be strategically placed to hinder Viking landings. And let's not forget the devastating Warhammer, capable of decimating entire Viking raiding parties. Traits further enhance the gameplay experience, increasing damage, movement speed, and squad size. The traits are obtained the same way as the items, through successfully defending the islands with the flags underneath them by saving commanders that live on those set islands. If the heat of battle becomes too much for your commander and the troops begin to dwindle, you can replenish their strengths by seeking refuge in the cottages you are defending throughout the islands. The houses serve as a health replenishment structure for your troops if they are not under siege by the Vikings, and for each successfully defended cottage you will gain a gold coin depending on their size. These gold coins can be used to upgrade basic militia troops into more powerful classes such as infantry, archers and pikes, each with their own class specific ability to bolster your defenses. The coins can also be used to upgrade skills and items. However, if the relentless onslaught of Viking invaders becomes overwhelming, you either have a choice of fighting to the death or attempting to flee the island by boarding the enemy ships with your commanders and their remaining loyal troops. The ability to seek refuge in cottages and daringly escape by boarding enemy ships adds a layer of tactical decision making to Path North's gameplay. It forces commanders to assess the situation, balance their health needs with the risks involved, and make strategic choices that can impact the outcome of the battle. Each commander and upgraded class is visually distinct with colorful trait banners and uniquely styled helmets. Even in the chaos of battle, units are easily identifiable and the slow motion effect allows you to coordinate your troops' movement precisely and utilize each class's assigned ability and item. The game's visual communication is top notch, a crucial aspect of any strategy game. The music serves as a vital companion, enhancing the gameplay experience and immersing players in its gripping battles. The soundtrack, characterized by its simplicity and ambient nature, strikes a delicate balance between tranquility and intensity, perfectly complementing the game's atmosphere. The soundtrack's effectiveness lies in its simplicity. Rather than relying on grandiose orchestral compositions, it employs minimalistic arrangements that resonate with the game's minimalistic aesthetic. This subtle approach allows the music to seemingly integrate with the gameplay, enhancing the overall immersion. In the midst of chaos, the music remains a constant companion, grounding players in the world of Path North, and heightening the emotional connection to the battles unfolding before them. It provides a captivating backdrop that immerses players in battles, effectively conveying the gravity of the situation. In Path North, players face not one but 2 formidable adversaries. On the one hand, you have the relentless Viking invaders, driven by the desire to destroy your kingdom and conquer your lands. But the challenges continue. The very island itself becomes an enemy. Each time you embark on a new campaign or island, the terrain, layout and enemy placements are dynamically generated, offering a fresh and unpredictable experience with every playthrough. This adds a thrilling layer of unpredictability to the game. You can never rely on the same strategy twice, as the landscape and enemy positions change, forcing you to adapt and think on your feet constantly. As you progress through the game, the islands become more treacherous with rugged terrains, narrow choke points, and other environmental obstacles that further complicate your defensive strategies. The dual challenge of battling Viking invaders and the procedurally generated island's dynamic nature add depth and replayability to Bad North. It keeps you constantly engaged as you never know what obstacles or surprises await you on the next island. Every victory feels hard-earned, and every defeat pushes you to learn and improve. As you progress through the game, you'll encounter similar island layouts and face waves of enemies with increasing difficulty, but it will eventually become repetitive. This repetitive nature can sometimes lead to a sense of deja vu, especially if you've spent a significant amount of time playing Bad North. While it's true that Bad North can become repetitive over time, it still manages to strike a balance between familiarity and fun. It's the kind of game you can pick up and play for short bursts, enjoying the strategic gameplay and the rush to defend your kingdom without feeling overwhelmed. So while you may find yourself experiencing moments of repetition, Bad North's simple gameplay mechanics, strategic depth, and procedurally generated content ensure that it remains a fun and engaging experience that you'll want to return to, even if it's just for occasional bursts of tactical enjoyment. Bad North is a game that falls somewhere between a full-fledged strategy game and a smaller scale experience. While it offers engaging gameplay and a unique concept, it only partially utilizes all of its potential. This is not necessarily a drawback, as it leaves room for future expansion and ideas to be explored, whether through DLC or a possible sequel. Bad North 2 maybe? Who knows? Keep in mind that the Jotunn edition Deluxe upgrade is available for an additional £5.89 or so. This upgrade primarily offers cosmetic enhancements such as enhanced commander portraits, original soundtrack files, and desktop and mobile wallpapers. It's more of a support the developers package rather than a substantial expansion of gameplay content. The game has tremendous potential for expansion. If the developers were to consider creating a sequel, they could explore a wide range of new scenarios and gameplay elements that would add depth and variety to the game. Imagine engaging in epic battles in forests where dense foliage becomes a strategic factor in defensive maneuvers. The opportunity to incorporate different types of units from various historical periods is a tempting possibility. This expansion of unit diversity would not only provide players with fresh tactical options but enhance the game's immersion and replayability. Bad North's potential for expansion is vast. Whether through a sequel, DLCs, or the inclusion of custom battle creation tools, the game can offer new scenarios, units, and gameplay features that will keep players engaged and eager for more. It's an exciting prospect for both the developers and the dedicated fanbase, and I can't wait to see how the game's potential unfolds. Having a website serves not only as a marketing tool, but also as a testament to the care and passion that went into creating the game and everything surrounding it. A well-crafted website can be a gateway that draws gamers into the world and experience of the game itself. Additionally, a website offers the opportunity to go the extra mile in promoting the game. Take for instance the Bob Ross parody featured in Bad North's marketing strategy. This creative addition showcases the developer's attention to detail and desire to create a memorable and engaging pre-gaming experience. In conclusion, Bad North is a game that successfully captures the essence of the strategy genre while offering a fresh and accessible experience for both casual and seasoned gamers. Its minimalist approach combined with roguelike permadeath mechanics sets it apart from other real-time strategy games. Visually, Bad North is stunning with its minimalist design and distinct unit styles. The game's visual communication is top-notch, a crucial aspect of any strategy game. The game effectively communicates essential information to the players even in the chaos of battle, ensuring a smooth and engaging experience. The soundtrack's simplicity and ambient nature perfectly complement the gameplay, immersing players in the intense battles and adding to the overall atmosphere. While the procedurally generated islands provide some level of replayability, the game can become repetitive after extended play. The limited variety in enemy types, environments, and strategic options can make successive playthroughs feel similar, potentially leading to a sense of monotony. I'm not keen on assigning numerical ratings to games as they often fail to capture their true value, considering the subjective nature of entertainment experiences and the diverse perspectives of players. But after taking into account everything that Bad North brings to the table, a score of 7.5 out of 10 aptly captures its true potential. This game is undoubtedly worthwhile, offering a solid gameplay experience and enjoyable elements that make it worth playing. Looking to the future, Path North has significant potential for expansion, whether through a sequel, DLCs, or the inclusion of custom battle creation tools and map customization. The game's success and dedicated fanbase make it an exciting prospect for future development and exploration of new scenarios, units, and gameplay features. If you wish to explore more content related to Path North, I welcome you to visit my channel, where you'll find an extensive collection of gaming videos spanning various genres. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to throw a like and leave a comment. Thank you for watching and see you soon.
Well, okay. Well, that horn means that now we can invade this happy little community.